Hey,
Yo,
hey, what's up, bro?
pew pew pew. My bad, I was a little slightly distracted.
Hey,
I was trying to get the screen on the TV going. That thing didn't go on there.
come on, dog.
What's
Hey,
good, man? How was your week?
good, man. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Too Late We Said It podcast. I am Sean Leverett, and my co-host here with me is Mr. Edwin Nevado.
Woo! No,
Yes,
really.
I tried to get a soundboard together, yo, so when I did shit like that, I could say
Yeah.
it could be like,
Yeah, you gotta be quicker on the trigger though between the countdown and the intro.
I know,
Because
man. I know.
every time it always shows us like this, like it was like, and we just standing there and then it goes to the intro. I'm like, bro.
But hey, that's the same thing.
I'm gonna tell you next time. I'm gonna be picking my nose on purpose next time. Watch. Nah, no, okay.
Don't go that. I don't know. Not intentionally. If you get caught slipping up like
Well, it's gonna look like it's unintentional.
you gonna go like this.
No, I'm gonna really put it in there. I'm gonna pick my nose for real.
Ah,
I'm gonna go for gusto.
going for the gusto.
Yeah, go
That's what's up, man. Hey, man, but we back with another episode of sports, culture, what else, man? Personal life,
entertainment. You know, everyday life. You know, things that's just
shit
in your
talk.
mind. You know, we talk about the galaxy and the universe.
Yo, well, we only talked about the galaxy and the universe once, I think, and I think that's something that we could expound on for at least a 2-day episode.
Well, yeah, that was the episode we was talking about colonizing Mars and shit. Yeah.
They've been working on it. Can you hear me, yo?
I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a few things today, man. The first thing we're gonna touch on is I'm here in Baltimore. Edwin is a Ravens fan, so I guess we got to address one of the retirements of one of the longest tenured players with the Ravens, man, Mr. Sam Cook.
Sam Cook. You wanted to do that, didn't you? Yeah, Sam Cook.
Disrespect him all the way.
Hey, man, just like, you know, I'm pretty sure not many people probably sat through that 48-minute press conference, but, you know, they were talking about how he revolutionized the kicking game. You know what I mean? They went to the lab and started creating different punts, and the colleges started taking it in, so lots of punters are revitalizing their game based on some of the things that Cook was ever able to do with, you know, getting the ball. He has like this reverse spin on it, so when it hits the ground, it bounces backwards. That's how he hits it inside the 5 and keeps it there. You know, lots of different things from punting it to the corners and how to get it there consistently. And he has techniques that they've developed, and a lot of punters usually, you just try to boot it as far as you can or try to boot it to land inside the 20 and hopefully you get a lucky bounce. But now there's actually techniques behind it that actually gives you the...
That's what proves it's a lane for everybody to do something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the niche thing, but he changed the way that things is played in the punter game. You know, who thinks about the punter game? It's not a lot of kids when they go into high school like, I'm about to be the best punter in the nation. You know? So for him to make an impact like that, I guess that's dope. I gotta give him a tad bit of respect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, a good player is a good player, no matter what team he on. Just like, you know, we could talk about the Rams. You guys got a revolutionary player too, in Aaron Donald. You know, he's a once in a lifetime talent there. You know, I can go on and on about him.
But
you know what I mean?
It's more pronounced for Aaron Donald or for Aaron Rodgers or for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You can see the fruit.
They're in positions. They're in positions in the game, and no one understands how valuable a good kicking unit is. You know what I mean? And then Justin Tucker's another guy. You know, that's why they said our special teams unit is one of the best in the league. Always has been in the top 3 every year and out since they had the Wolfpack there with Justin Tucker. Huh?
Who the Wolfpack? I never heard of that.
The Wolfpack is our kicking unit. It's Justin Tucker, Sam Cook, and our long snapper. His name is escaping me.
Okay, all right. Don't worry about it.
Don't break your brain. But that's the Wolfpack. Yeah. Hey, we're on the spot, man. Come on. I'm gonna remember it later.
No, I know you, and I know you will. We're gonna be about to close the show.
And I'm just gonna, yeah, it's gonna come in. Somebody in the comments, like, go ahead and help me out there, please. I'm on the spot. But yeah, man, it was a great career, and that we drafted a punter. You know what I mean? So it kind of like you kind of coincide with all that. He was also talking about that Sam Cook was aware that they were drafting a punter. This was all something that was talked about. How the Ravens, and then instead of him just retiring, he also now has got what's called a consultant job, a consultant position on our team. So that's gonna lead turn into assistant coaching and special teams. So he's actually going to be working with our new punter to help him learn some of the kicks and also
Okay, he's
expand
giving
on his
back.
game. So he's giving back,
Now
yo.
throwing to
So
Ryan Tannehill.
yeah, so
Okay,
exactly.
that's what's up. But it is his job to teach him, though. But that's what's up.
Well, I mean, if he retired, he didn't have to do nothing, but he took a job with the Ravens, so he's still going to be in the building, just not on the field, but on the sidelines.
Mm,
You know, so he's going to be what's called a consultant, a kicking consultant. And usually those are like those assistant jobs, like assistant jobs that lead into the next step. You know, so he can build from there and eventually become a special teams coach himself.
mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's a hierarchy to that coaching stuff too, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
I
gotta
mean,
you gotta build your way up. You can't just go straight into doing stuff like they was trying to do with that quarterback.
and you know who had the biggest rise to fame
Who's that?
from working his way up from the bottom?
Eric DeCosta,
Sean McVay.
Sean
Sean
McVay,
McVay was
for
wiping
sure.
balls in Washington. Now he the champ, bro. We going to the chip. We running it back. I bet you. How much you want to bet that the Rams are gonna win the Super Bowl next year?
The Rams, I don't know, man. I'm not going to say they can't. You know what I mean? They're Super Bowl defending champions, but at the same time, I mean, the league's shifted. Some of the power
We shifted.
shifted.
We shifted. We shifted. We got Allen Robinson. We got Aaron. I mean, I was about to say Aaron Donald. We got Bobby Wagner,
Hmm.
and we picked up some miscellaneous niggas. So we ready to run it back, and we still got basically the same squad.
Yeah, pretty much. But
I don't know, man. It's gonna be fun.
it's not
I'm
going to be
excited.
easy. It's very rare to get back to backs.
Yeah, but the Seahawks are done. I think it's a wrap for the Seahawks. I think it's a wrap for the 49ers. And the Cardinals might be something. I don't know.
Yeah, the Packers lost Devontae Adams
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
stupid.
To the AFC. To the AFC.
to the AFC.
It might
He
be the
went to the
49ers.
Raiders to go play with his college
Oh,
quarterback.
Raiders.
So that was his
Oh,
college
Raiders.
quarterback he went to go play with.
And where was they? Fresno State, right?
Hmm.
Fresno State. The Bulldogs. Shout out to Fresno, man. Shout out to Clovis. All my homies out there in Clovis, California.
Yeah,
But yeah, man. So shout out to Sam Cook for a pretty good career.
yeah, pretty good. Yeah, hey, like they say, thanks for doing your job. You know what I mean? That was their
Yeah.
thing. It's like way to
Where's
do
that
your
at?
job. Way to do your job.
I always felt that was condescending for you to say that. Good job doing what I paid you to do.
I mean, it's an inside thing that they got. They say that to each other. It's like way to do your job. It's like
I mean,
it's
all in
like
sports.
period. That's how they talk to each other. It was like their little inside joke thing.
Hold on, who is they?
The Wolfpack, man, the kicking unit.
Also, you do have
Whenever
to
Tucker,
make it
whenever
sound
Tucker
like
would
that.
kick whenever Justin Tucker would make a long kick, they go, "Way to do your job." Or if Sam Cook would kick a perfect punt and land inside the 5, Tucker would go up to him like, "Yeah," and they dap and be like, "Way to do your job."
Mm,
Yeah,
damn, I didn't even know it was that deep. I just thought they were just kicking balls. But that's the thing most people think. You just
yeah,
punt,
exactly.
field goal.
We got our
Yeah.
listeners are wanting us to switch topics, even though we have not even mentioned Lamar Jackson's name once. But thanks for that, Stone. I appreciate that.
Who was Stone?
He's in the comments
Let's
right
talk about
there.
Lamar for the rest of the episode, please. Nah, we're not even gonna mention Lamar. Lamar's a good dude. I hope Lamar get his money. But the Ravens are trash overall. Yeah, but it is what it is. All right, so man, let's go on to the next topic, man. We're gonna talk about one thing. I grew up as a chubby young man. I still am a chubby young man to this day, except now I'm
Ain't nothing wrong with that,
middle
man.
aged. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it is what it is. So
yeah.
one thing that stuck to me throughout my growth experience is all the songs of commercials that we hear, man. Whether it
Oh
be
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Apple, whether it be Burger King, all those songs, they really mean something to you, man. They hit your heart when you hear those jingles, when you riding in your commercial. I mean, when you riding in the car, especially in the occupation that we was doing, driving around all day, all you listening to
Yeah,
is commercials. A lot of truck
exactly.
drivers, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, in
So
the radios. Yep, exactly.
the radios, those are integral in you growing up and you know understanding what's going on in the landscape. So I wanted to ask you, Edwin, man, what are your top? No, necessarily your top three or top 10, but what's your top in your heart commercial jingles? Like, what's your top? Let's say
This
three
I found this
commercials.
topic to be interesting because as we got into the digital world and streaming, I've pretty much gone away from all commercials. I don't listen to the radio no more because I have streaming
Ooh,
services. So I can only go by what I remember from the last time that I was listening to the radio. So the first thing that comes to mind is Eastern Motors, and I think that's a
yeah,
that's a that's a MVA that's a MVA thing, right? That only played that commercial within
DMV.
the DMV, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
I said it's a
they used
motor,
to have they used
Maryland.
to have the Redskin players on there. They had
Yeah,
football
exactly.
players on there.
At
They
Eastern
like Clay
Motors,
Waters. Hey
it's your
Quentin, where you pouring your
today.
car at?
Yeah, he's like
I'm pouring it
Fords,
at Eastern
Hondas,
Motor.
Chevys, Beamers.
Hell yeah, that's all they were used to do, man. Singing that they had Ray Rice on there. They had
Yeah,
Cole Portis on there. They had LeVar Arrington on there. They had everybody on the Eastern Motors commercial.
yeah, they did. I mean, but my favorite jingle probably is as a kid is the Toys R Us one. Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. Hold on, you
Yeah.
gotta refresh my memory with that one, yo.
It goes, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us
Yes,
kid.
yes. Hey,
There's a
that's it.
million stores at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Hey.
From bicycle trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store that is. I don't want to grow up, cause if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
Oh, he knew the break.
Did.
Hey, that was good, yo.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, thank you,
You
thank
gotta give me
you.
your props on that one, man.
Much appreciated. So,
I like
what's
I
your
like
jingles?
I like all of them, bro. All the ones, the Lucky Charms. Remember the Lucky Charms joint when he was running away from them kids? Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious.
Oh
He
yeah,
would have a new,
yeah.
he
Up
would
to
have
the
a new verse.
yeah.
He would
I
have a
I
new
know the
verse.
last part. All I remember is the magically delicious. But how did the song go before that?
Well, it wasn't really a song. It would just be him doing some activities, like trying to get away. He'd be like, "Those kids think they're gonna come over here and get my shit? Hell no!" And then he'd like jump over a bridge and then land and be like,
Oh, and
"It's delicious."
yeah, when they
Really
fuck
doing
up,
that, y'all.
he's like, "Yeah, man, it's like you ain't getting them, but I understand why you want them."
I'm not mad at y'all. Y'all are marvelous.
Oh, another good one that you think about is not a jingle, but it's like a quote. It's like tricks are for kids.
Tricks are for kids. And little do you know,
Yeah.
when you grow up, that's all that's for adults. It's some damn tricks. It's crazy.
Yo, do you remember? I think it was what movie was it? Ted, where Liam Nielsen. Well, Ted was working at the grocery store. Liam Nielsen said was coming when he had the tricks hidden, and he was like,
I didn't see Ted.
"You didn't see Ted? Oh my God, yo, that movie's funny." And he carries the tricks like he's clutching it, like because he heard it tricks for kids on a commercial. So he was
Liam
like,
Neeson did.
"Yeah, Liam Nielsen," and he comes in and goes over to Ted, and he asks him, "I was made to believe that this cereal is exclusively for children." He's like, "Yes, that's the jingle, tricks for kids." He's like, "So it is illegal for me to purchase these?" I was like, "No, no, no. If you want to eat them, you can definitely eat them. But the jingle says it's for kids."
For kids.
And he's like, "No, it's just marketing." So he's like, "I'm gonna buy these now, and no one's gonna follow me."
God damn.
Yo, it was one of those things
That was an
where,
intense purchase
it was like he was like talking to a CIA agent trying to get some tricks
on the low. He was
on
looking
the
at
low, and then he walked out, and everybody looking at each other like he really thought that he wasn't allowed to get those tricks because they're for kids.
Hey, that tie into something we're gonna talk about later as far as culture influence wise, man. But that's crazy, man. But I also like the Kit Kat jingles. You remember the Kit Kat? Give me a break.
Break, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Break. Give me a
Oh,
break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Yeah, 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 yeah.
well,
That was
Edwin,
good.
you a singer, yo? Was you a singer in high school using a
Nah,
singing
nah.
instrument?
I can't sing, man. I just love the jingles.
Nah, when your shoulders start rolling with it, you was wrong. You was like, give me a break. Give me a break. Nigga
I
talking
turned
like
it to I
Elvis.
turned it to Michael Bublé. Ooh.
I'm like, damn. I was about to
Does he
say,
even do
damn.
that? Does Michael Bublé even do that? He probably doesn't.
I don't
So
know.
I
Maybe
kind of just put
Elvis
it.
play it.
It's all good. He. I can't believe you don't know who he is, but okay.
Who is Michael Bublé?
He's a singer, man, and a songwriter.
What? What other songs did he do?
I don't know, man. I don't listen to him.
don't know who. I don't know.
Don't
I
catch me looking crazy on live air. God damn it!
don't catch me on.
You didn't even you didn't even. I was floating like just floating, hanging onto a lifeline, and you just cut the cord, didn't you? You're like cow, shot me right on down, right to my yeah. Come on, man.
Brother.
It is
My
what it
fault,
is.
though. I don't know, but I don't know, man. But how'd you feel about the Subway $5 footlong commercials before the whole
Oh, okay,
era
yeah,
that
yeah,
broke?
yeah.
Five,
Five, five dollar, $5 foot long. Any. Yo, I kind of was on the fence about that because it seemed like there was a subliminal message in there.
because of the hand gesture.
Yeah, yo. It was, yeah, it's like any.
I felt now I base mine on singability. I still was singing $5 footlong like on the way to Subway because you know when you're going somewhere you'll be like I'm about to go to McDonald's like ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Or if you about to go to Subway you be like five dollar
$5.
footlong.
Any. Have
And then
you
you say
ever?
the one you gonna get.
Yeah. So you have gone into a Subway and done that before?
I ain't singing in Subway. That's hella chubby. Like
Yeah. Like, did you walk in there like?
why he making it and shit?
Yo, I bet you those lines was long as shit when that promotion was going on.
When it first came
Yo,
out,
I ain't even gonna lie. You know I'm a cable tech man. We get lunch. Yo, I used to like scheme on those subways. I'm like, yo, I'm hungry as shit. I need one of them $5 joints. Where's that? I
you
look,
like that.
yeah, yo. When I went, I remember. You know what? I didn't remember that jingle, but I do remember the first time I went to a Subway and the $5 foot long thing was no longer applicable. Yeah, I was mad as shit. Went in there and I've got let me get the foot long of that steak sub. They went in there and was like, yo, it was like $8 some change. I was like, what you mean? $5? It's like, nah, that no longer is. It's only $5 for the cold cuts. It's like they changed it to like only a few, and then they did every day is a different one that's $5, and then it just went away altogether.
Yeah, that was a good time, yeah.
But yeah, man. Now our viewers know that we eat too much.
Hey, man, whoever say that they don't eat fast food be lying, bro. These companies are $billion companies, bro. Everybody pull up to the McDonald's. You see the white women in their big Lexus trucks that don't really want to be there. They go like, let me just get fries. And
Yeah. Have you heard the O'Reilly's commercial? The
oh
O'Reilly's.
yeah. Oh.
Oh, O'Reilly's.
Ow! Oh,
Yeah. That's a good one.
that's a good one. That
Yeah.
permeates through all cultures. Everybody know the
Yeah.
O'Reilly.
You're driving like O'Reilly's. What about the one with the money?
JG Wentworth.
Yeah, JG Wentworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
They tell you everything they do at the end. Child support, lawsuits.
When you need your where how's it go? When you need something, but you need cash now.
I have a structured annuity and I need cash
Cash
now.
now. Call JG Whitworth. Cash now. And then a remix was like it was like 877 877 O'Reilly's cash now.
I ain't hear that one, bro.
No, that was the DJ remix.
You must
That was
have
a
been at the beach when they had
that was a Bad Boy remix.
Take that.
Take. No, that was the remix for that one is the $5 foot longs because they're like $5 foot longs. Take that.
I ain't hear that one, yeah.
No, but that's where it goes. Do you hear me? It's like the porno version of it. He walks in like five. You know what I'm doing right now on the top, but you know what the bottom was doing. Five, any, and then he goes, take that. All right, can we move on to the next subject, please?
How you freak out? How you freak out O'Reilly's, man?
Auto parts. She's gonna need some new auto parts after that. $5 foot long. Yeah. She's like any. O'Reilly's pussy parts. All right.
A foot long is thick, bro.
Yeah. Hey, it could be a spaghetti noodle though too.
Nah, I'm talking about Subways. By the time you put the
That's
black olives on it, the meat, the cheese,
oh, we're talking about the sub.
you got receiver hands. This shit is just
Right, right.
I don't know, man.
Can you display how you would take a bite out of that sub?
No sir.
Damn it! I
Yeah.
almost got you. I almost got you.
Tell us more about how your mouth would look.
Let me see exactly how you approach this this 12-inch sub.
With the thickness. Get the hell out of here, man.
We're losing some viewers now.
Okay. They'll come
They're
back.
like, "Oh shit, these guys are vulgar." I mean, the name of the show is "Too Late We Said It," which means any and everything can be said at any given time.
They just going to go get a foot long right now. Though.
Yeah, it's like fuck it, I'll pay more than $5.
You get that sweet onion tag.
I don't even fuck with Subway no more. I think the only reason why I like Subway is because it was low price. They got better sub shops out there. You know what I mean? Out here they got Firehouse subs.
Quiznos was good. I used to like Quiznos.
Yeah, Quiznos is alright. Quiznos is
They got
alright.
Air bread.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Jersey
Jersey Mike's. That's where I fuck with Jersey Mike's. They're a little pricey, but that turkey club sandwich is delicious.
What other sandwich shops is it, man? I don't even know. Man.
Oh, Potbelly.
Potbelly. Yep, yep. They got some good milkshakes. At the,
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do. They do. They got some milkshakes.
Around the straw. Do they still do that? I haven't been in a
Yeah,
while.
I haven't. I have. It's up there. It's up north. We don't have Potbellies down here.
Oh, word. Damn.
That's the first time I ate Potbellies was in D.C. and like PG County.
Mm.
But I think there's a Potbelly down here. I think there's one. I just haven't gone to it.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I used to. My wife worked near a hospital that's a Potbelly, so sometimes she bring it home. It'd be old, and I still eat that shit. It's old and not cold no more. That shit be terrible.
It's old. we linger on this food topic too long, ain't we?
We chunky, man. I don't give a damn.
we gotta move on.
Gotta be real, man.
Cause I'm getting hungry and I got Taco Bell in front of me and I ain't gonna be rude and eat none right now, so I'm gonna wait.
Like this.
Huh?
Chew it up on the low.
Can't
All right,
do that.
let's talk about something that you felt like you had a pretty strong feeling about earlier, man. Before we hopped on the live, man. Let's talk about male groupies. Have you
Woo!
ever been in a situation where you are around somebody or around a group or around a cluster of people that's pretty much got the same goal, and you feel like one of the fellas is uh, dick riding, for a lack of better words, to get good in or get close to somebody, just to be in their good graces, just to be around them. Not necessarily because sometimes playing the networking game, you have to rub shoulders with people and be around certain individuals.
Right,
to
right.
have maybe a business proposal.
Be nice to
or something
people that
like
you're necessarily not usually nice to.
Right. But you know what I'm talking about when I'm saying going over the top and being a male groupie, man. What you got any situations?
Yeah,
like
man.
that?
While we was talking about it off air, I really didn't have it until when you put it to when you the way you worded it, I was like, okay, so I do have an incident actually recently happened.
Right.
In a form of male groupie-ish to some degree, but there's like a code, Joe. You're all co-workers, you're all in a level. Everybody sticks to their level. Like in the locker room, you ain't supposed to go behind a teammate's back and snitch on your teammate because it doesn't really incorporate that team mentality where everybody got each other's back. You know what I'm saying? So, as everybody knows, I'm a cable technician. And one morning, I had my route, but then my route changed, and then I got a job that was super far away. So I was like, okay, I had to adjust to get to it. It was super far, and I got caught in traffic. So I get at the job at like 8:17, but they want you to get there. It's at exactly 8. So it's 8:17. Apparently, I noticed there's another tech next door. I don't really know none of the techs I work with because I'm like all to myself. I go to the office, get my shit, and I leave. I don't really talk to nobody. I
Hold
stay to
on,
myself.
Edwin. Hold on. Let me ask you this, yo. Why don't you have a wolf pack at work, yo? Why don't
I
you
do.
Okay. All right,
You met one of them. You met one of them earlier off air.
okay.
But it's only like 2 people.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
So I didn't even know I knew he was a tech, but I didn't know he worked in our. He wasn't in our. He wasn't employed with us.
Right.
So I just saw another tech. I said, "Hey, what's up?" I go about my business. But then you gotta think. I got a text message saying 8:15, and you're still not at your job. I'm like, wow, how the heck do you know that? So that was the first clue. You know what I mean? I was like, so I'm working there. I saw him. I was like, could this dude have be working with us? Because how the hell do they know? So I just like, I ain't worried about it. So I go and I realize, oh snap, I'm out of house boxes. The house boxes are the boxes you put where you put the cables in, so they can close it in the compartment where you put all the cabling. I was out. Yeah.
Weatherproofing box.
Well, it's a weatherproofing box, or it's like a house box to look professional and to protect the wire from weather, and
Hmm.
also to make it look more aesthetic on the house as opposed to just wires out there, right?
Right.
So I just ran the wires in the same path that I was gonna run the ground wire, so that way I can attach it. And then I was like, I'll come back later and put it because my other job was like 15 minutes
You was
away. I
doing
was like,
prep work.
yeah, so I was gonna finish the job and come back because that's what experienced techs do. We don't have to sit there and be stuck on the job for an hour and
Waiting for a
hoping that
house
someone
box.
comes to bring us a house box, right? So I'm like, I'll come back do that. So I do that. I get out. I'm gone. I'm not even 15 minutes gone. I've already called one of my boys that I work with and said, "You got a house?" I was like, "Yes." I was like, "I'm only 10 minutes away. I'm gonna swing by and grab it." Not even 5 minutes after I leave, I get a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Supervisor and everything is like, and pictures. This dude
Oh,
took pictures,
he verified his
sent it
shit.
to him, and said, "This is unacceptable." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you want me to say?" I did it, but what you don't know is that I'm literally on the way to get a house box. I was gonna go put one on there.
Hold on
So
now. Did your supervisor lean on you, or did he
yeah,
just
they
see your
leaned on me. So then all I could do is fall back. Like, you know what? I'm sorry. So I just apologized. Yeah, man, that's my bad. But that's the crazy part. Is like, yo, if I'm not getting hit up like that, I'm an experienced technician. Then let me do what I do. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
I
right,
expect
right, right,
responsibility
right.
for what I do. But having somebody like, yo, but that's kind of on some crazy shit because he could have said something to me like, hey, like I'm gonna snitch on you. None. He just
He could have said, "Yo,
he
here go a
acted
house
like,
box."
yeah. He could have acted like he could have acted like, yo, and said
He could
something
have
to
put the
me.
house box on.
He could have done a lot of things.
Right,
But he
right.
didn't approach me, so you ain't gonna say nothing to me. You're gonna act like you don't know me or nothing, because he was like being real. Like I made eye contact, said what's up, and then he was on the phone, so I
Right.
didn't bother him. He was on the phone talking to somebody, so
Mm,
apparently could have been one of the people. Anywho, yo, that I'm like, yo, come on, man. If I was in his position, I would have been like, yo, you don't got a house box? Here you go.
right, right. Yo, I see you left the wires there. You don't got no house boxes?
Yeah, he's like, yo, if you leave that like that, someone's gonna do that. Or if you leave that like that, I have to report you. I'm like, chill. I would have been like, chill out, man. I already
It
got
happened.
somebody with a house box.
Right,
I've been called.
right,
Like
right, right.
I'm always on my p's and q's. I
But
always
nobody
take
can
care of myself.
nobody confront nobody like that no more.
Yo, but I
Everybody
went
got
back, put the house box on, and I didn't take no pictures, and I didn't send it to prove it. If they want to go back and look, they can go look. I didn't even message back to say I fixed it. I just fixed it and went about my business.
let it
Because
be.
why, yo? Because why?
But outside on the broader scope of what you're talking about, I think that dude was a male groupie because he saw an opportunity to be like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna send this to my suit to let him know I'm on the job, even when I'm on somebody else's job. I'm on
Yeah,
somebody
yeah, yeah,
else's
yeah,
job, but
yeah.
I'm on
And
the
I
job.
mean, I don't even know who he is. If I seen him again, I wouldn't even know because I literally did not pay any attention to him.
You just
And
was sussed
and
him
I
on
don't
the way
even
in.
and I don't even care either
That's
to
heavy.
say anything. It's just fine because that just solidifies why I stay to myself. You know what
Nah,
I
man.
mean? Why else? Why
That's
else?
that's that's more so of a case of just I think a guy just being a bitch for a lack of better words, man. There's like no point to do that. There's so many different other ways you could have handled it,
Yeah,
man. I think I think a male groupie is because I've seen it in a lot of things, man. I seen it when I used to play football. I seen it when I was trying to, come up and get a higher position at work, and how people would do things when they in competition with you for that job, just to be close to you. Uh, uh, your suit looks good today. You want some soup? How's your grandma? Just hella
yeah, yeah, yeah,
involved, just
yeah,
trying to just be to give off the air of, hey, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it, as opposed to letting the work show. That's why I think
yeah,
is one of the most uh, corrosive effects of a male groupie is it breaks up the integrity of a situation between if it's two people, even if people a female is being female groupies in a competition situation. If you're not basing your merit, your come up off the merit, you're basing it off how much you're gonna kiss ass. That sort of convolutes the whole situation when it come time to you taking your succession or being the next person to do something because you might not be necessarily prepared or ready to do nothing. I mean, even if it's rapping, crocheting, Kentucky derbying. Shout out to the Preakness today, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's a real ugly
Oh,
trait,
snap! The
man. 'Cause,
Preakness is today too.
yeah, it is Preakness there. It caused a lot of unnecessary beef, man. I think a lot of the street shit that happened is because niggas chasing clout from other dudes. That to me is a form of being a male group. Like, yeah, I'm gonna impress these niggas. Now I gotta go hot somebody from the other side. Just for GP, not necessarily off of no infractions in the street side of the game. But
Right.
I don't know, man. But that's just how I felt about that. Uh, I don't know if you want to say anything else on that topic.
No, not really. We got through it. It just so happened. It's just so happens like normally not nothing I would talk about, but it's the topic. That's the only story I got, and it happens
Yeah,
to be recent. That happened weeks ago too, so it's fresh. So when
yeah.
you saw when
Warm
you
it still open.
when we saw that was the topic, I'm like, that's the only thing I could talk about, and
Yeah.
that's why I look like I was still a little agitated about it because it's recent. It just happened recently, so I
You
mean I
ain't
still
knocking a
feel
little bit, bro.
I feel a certain kind of way about that because it's like, yo, that's just uncalled for. I wouldn't even have done that myself. I would have probably put the house box. I would have probably not said nothing. Put the house box
All
myself.
right, Emilio. All right. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about the next topic, man. Because
Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the next topic, yo. Cause
well, the next topic sort of ties into this from the way you see it, man. Because it seems like you ready to run down and slide on this brother, man. Uh, but the next topic we're gonna talk about is valid violence. When is it okay?
of course, that's a great
Yeah,
segue, isn't it?
you're gonna love to touch on
When
this
is
one, man.
violence okay?
When is violence okay, man? In today's environment, we're given the option more so than not. In most cases, it is the best option to take it to talk things out, get some type of mediation between the two people, and be like, "Yo, all right, man, that ain't even worth all that. Let's chill out. Let's talk it out. Let's figure it out. Let's work it out." But in some situations in life, and I believe that it is some situations in life that requires it. In some situations in life, you might have to beat the shit out of somebody. You might have
Yeah,
to slap the hell out of somebody just to be like, "Hey, that's the line right there, bro. You
yeah,
can't cross that line." So, me personally, I've had that. You have those situations growing up all the time. Situations where you could be like, "Yo, I can just let him do this to me." Because being a kid, I mean, I think you'll face this situation more so. People will relate to this situation more so than a lot. When you have a bully at school or something like that, at what point are you like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of this dude, man"? Not necessarily run down on him and hot the whole school up, like shoot the whole school up. You ain't got to take it that far, but you just run down on them and you beat the hell out of them, or you find a way to beat them with a pipe or a broom, and you had a disadvantage or you had an advantage, and you still used it. Like when Craig smacked Debo with the brick on Friday. Debo was
yeah.
bigger, but he had to whack his monkey ass,
Yeah, he had
just
to
to get
he
him
had to
down.
knock him down a peg, yo. Let him know, like, hey, nobody ain't nobody scared. You can't, because a lot of times bullies do that, because usually bullies are victims of being bullied themselves. So it's like shit rolling downhill. So I'm being picked on by somebody bigger than me. So then I'm gonna go ahead and reciprocate that type of action on somebody else that's smaller than me. And if I
Mhm.
could make it benefit from it by taking their lunch or taking something of theirs to emasculate them even more, then I'm going to do that because now I feel better about myself after my pops or whoever's in the house is doing to me. And
Mhm.
a lot of times it's like that, and other times it's just pure enjoyment. Sometimes people get
Right, they
excited
get their
about,
jollies on
yeah,
kicking ass.
just by doing that. And as a kid, everybody's either bullied or been bullied or had some form of confrontation that stemmed from bullying to some degree, and
Mhm.
I had that too when I was in school. It's like somebody first is verbal bullying. They're calling me names, and I'm ignoring them. You know what I mean?
Right,
So when they see it's not bothering you, then they resort
turn it
to,
up
I'm
a
gonna
notch.
start pushing
Yeah.
you or standing in your way or doing little stupid things, and then eventually at some point they reach a line when they do something and then inflict pain, and
Mhm.
that's when I actually retaliated and I pretty much ignored the dude up until the point when he started
Tapping
physically
you and shit.
physically touching me and actually inflicted pain. Like he grabbed and pulled my hair back from behind on the bus,
Ah.
and then all of a sudden I just blacked
What?
out. Yeah, I'm a crazy one. So back then I just like, God, I just started wailing on him. He didn't see it coming. So in his mind, he was complacent
I'm a
because he's like,
focused dude. Keep it moving.
he's not gonna do nothing. So he was
Right,
already
right, right,
complacent
right.
with that. So when I messed him up pretty good on the bus, I didn't even get in trouble. The bus driver pulled us
Kick
to
his
the front.
ass, Edwin.
And he said, and he told him, he's like, I've been watching you pick on him. You got what you deserve. I'm not gonna say nothing about it,
Mm,
but this is the last time that I see anything going on between you two or both. I'll see to it both of y'all are gonna be reprimanded equally. And I was like, all right.
damn.
And then he gets on the bus, and the bus driver gave me a dap. He said
Because
about
people see
time.
that, yo. People
About
see
time. He
that.
said he told you know the bus driver said he said I wanted to help you, but I knew if I did it'd make it worse.
Yeah,
And that's
no,
true.
you don't.
It's
The
true.
bus driver ain't hearing the
You
preaching.
got to defend. So that right there was me doing what I did as a kid. That was warranted because I gave him plenty of opportunities. Turning the other cheek and shit. But I'm a
Right,
kid though. That's the first time that's happened to me. I was only like 9 years old.
right, right,
You
right,
know what I
right.
mean? And then finally I did what I did, and that taught me a lesson. And then
Oh yeah,
that's what carried me into middle school and whatnot. And I didn't have no problems like that because I never let it get to that point. Because at that point I understood I'm
life
gonna
is about
tell the person I'm not gonna back down,
right. So
and
let's
I'm
just
not
get it
gonna
out the way,
fight
man.
you. But if you really want it, I'm gonna
Yeah,
fight back. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying?
right,
Like,
right,
that's all it is. That's one example. Another example is like self defense from like a family member getting hurt. Like, what happens is like your little sister, you have a little sister or something,
right.
and her boyfriend or something is hitting on her. Hey,
I
you
pull
got
up.
to. She can't defend herself, so defending somebody that can't defend themselves is, I think, warranted. Or like that's something that's warranted that you could inflict violence on the other person because you're defending somebody that can't defend themselves. I think that's a.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why I wish when people see stuff out in the streets, it would be less camera pointing and just run up on it and regulate the
Yeah.
situation. I seen some pretty bad videos where it be females getting their ass beat by dudes, bro, like on subway stations and stuff.
And then
And
multiple people are filming it.
just looking at it and watching it through a phone lens, man. I but I think it's some laws and stuff like that where if you hurt that person, you might get locked up.
Not
So
really.
a
It
lot of people
depends.
ain't
That
trying to go to court.
they have the Good Samaritan law, which is in effect in different areas. Different states have different laws that constitutes as the Good Samaritan law. Like if you do something in the aid of another individual, then you
Mm,
can't be charged with anything because even if the outcome is not favorable, that your intention is what they look at as like his only
he was
reason
right
for
to
that
run
move.
him in.
Yeah, was trying
Okay.
to. He just because he's inexperienced and not knowing what he's doing, it may not turn out. But just
Oh,
like
so
if
so it's one
somebody,
of two.
like let's
It's
say
one of
you
two
don't know
things.
CPR, right? You're not
Hmm.
certified CPR, but if somebody's dying and you know enough CPR, we're just seeing it from movies and shit, and you try and you break one of their ribs or whatnot, you're
You gotta
protected by
handle
that
it.
law because if you save their life, then hey man, I either let you die or I try
Hold
to
up,
save your life.
hold up. Does that happen? Do people get their ribs
Yeah,
cracked?
if you can crack somebody's rib easily while you're giving
What?
CPR.
How you dropping down to get on their chest with a
It's
forearm?
just positioning and stuff like
What?
that, and sometimes it's just the nature of the situation. Like some ribs can bruise, fracture easily. It's not very hard to do
I
that.
thought you pump. See, I don't know nothing about CPR. I thought you was pumping like the lower upper abdomen,
Well,
like between the.
okay, we're gonna go into it. I don't know if anything's changed from what I learned. Is you got down at the rib cage. If you feel down the middle of the bone, that's the sternum, and you keep going down, you'll feel where it turns into a V. And there's like a small little notch there. It's called the xiphoid process. That is the most important thing to know about that, because if you push there, you could actually injure somebody severely, like puncture their lung
Oh,
or
let's
something.
just push
So
there, man.
so what you want to do is you put your finger on the xiphoid process, and you like use your pinky and let four fingers come up, and where your index finger ends up. That's where you're gonna put your palm straight on the sternum, and then do your compressions from there. So if anybody knows
Oh,
any different, that's how I was taught. So I don't know if the procedures change, but you just go by the xiphoid process. Just follow the sternum down to the xiphoid process. Put your pinky on it. Let four fingers come up, and go, and then that's
hey
where you put your
man,
palm and do your chest compressions.
you need to sell that online for 4.99.
Hey man,
That's
that's
like
not me, man. I'm just telling you that's a medical procedure for long before I was born. All I'm saying is that it's good to know that even if you're not certified, you're in a
I
position
didn't
to
know
save
that.
somebody's life. Then go ahead and do that, and then you're gonna do uh,
Science field. process?
Yeah, so now the process is now that changes is how long, how many compressions you do before you do breaths. You do 2 breaths, and then you repeat compressions, and you just repeat the process until paramedics arrive.
Hey, did you what you was like a basketball coach or something? You needed to learn that.
I was in the army.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Every military personnel learns basic
CPR.
basic medic, what is it, fucking medical procedures, from
Mm,
CPR, how to stop bleeding, wounds, so it's like, basic medical training. We had the dummies and
okay.
everything. We had the same dummies that you get
No,
when
I seen
medical.
pictures of that. Like in the military, they got the
Yeah,
dummies in
yeah.
the room and all.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Everybody learns that because it's not guaranteed that your medic's gonna be there, so everybody has to at least have basic first aid training.
right. Okay, that makes
So
sense. They
that's
had
from
drills and stuff like that.
mouth to mouth, how to treat a victim in shock, all of those things. How to
Mm,
see the symptoms of shock, how to assess a situation to an injured individual before you even go up to them. You're supposed to assess that there's no danger presently around, and then before you do anything, you get somebody to go for help while you carry on trying to proceed with the first aid. So
mm,
the way they did it is like, you call nine. They do this. You call 911. You prop his legs up. And you prop his legs up or whatever, and you just whatever that needs to be done. You just take control of the situation, and boom. So CPR is good like one person, but it's good if you have two people because then you can
mm.
have somebody at the head and have their airway opened up, and you just do the compressions, and then you stop, let them give them 2 breaths, and then you repeat compressions. But you could do it by yourself. You just have to keep repositioning yourself.
Okay, so now I know if you do need to engage in some valid violence, you got the wherewithal to bring the motherfucker
Yeah,
back
it's
to
like
life and keep
if
beating
I
the shit
if
out
I
of them,
injure somebody really badly, I have the capability of saving them.
bringing them back.
That believe it or not, that's actually very common where people get in fights like that, and someone gets really badly injured, and the person that wins the fight instantly goes into save mode and tries to help the individual
Mhm.
they just beat up.
So that means
And
most cases they train, they was probably in a defensive hurt point of view in that situation because most people that know how to do CPR and know how to fight real good are usually not running around bullying people or starting shit. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
usually
yeah,
people that's strong,
yeah, yeah.
wild
I
out.
thank God I've never had to. I've never had to perform CPR on nobody, but I can tell you right now, I'm always prepared to. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
situation. I've actually helped somebody that had a seizure in front of me. They were in the line. We were on the line, and you'd be surprised. There's a crowd of people, and how instantly everybody freezes in those moments. It's more
Hmm.
common than not. Everybody just sat there and watched this dude. I instantly, as soon as I see him,
Wow.
he went, ugh, and then he felt he was going to seizure. I immediately went over to him,
He hit the
put
red
him on
bar.
his side, and stabilized his head and his legs, and just stayed there. Just to let him. You just have to let him. The seizure. You can't stop the seizure. You just gotta position their body so that they don't injure themselves. Put them on their side so they don't swallow their tongue. Keep an eye on their mouth. Sometimes you squeeze. Do it. What you want to do as little as possible. Seizures are like very.
You just
So
gotta
I
let
just
him
put
ride
him
it
on his
out.
side, and I just put my arm underneath his head, and then I just held him like that in place on the side, and he just went through the seizure for a good like 45 seconds, maybe a
Mhm.
minute tops, and
And
then
then they just get back up. It's
he was
like
good to go. He had
I've
epilepsy.
never seen a seizure before.
Yeah, he
What's that
had
about?
epilepsy. So with epilepsy, it means it can happen anytime. It can be triggered from someone could say something that triggers a memory that can cause you to go into seizure. Lights. There's a lot of
Damn.
things that could trigger epilepsy. So it's stress. It's a. I don't know, man. I don't know too much about epilepsy, but I know that triggers can
Sound
come
like
from
you know a
anywhere.
lot about epilepsy,
Not
man.
really. I just know that triggers come from anywhere. I'm just trying to do the best I can, and but when you see that, you got to react. It's like,
Right,
what are you
right,
gonna do?
right.
Just let the man sit there and he could possibly
But
die.
okay, so you got to make sure the airways is clear.
Yeah, man. Because if they're on their back and they're seizuring, they have no control of anything. Their motor functions are all within the seizure.
Everything going
The tongue is
haywire.
a muscle that goes all the way back into your
Right.
throat like this. So if that tongue goes back, it can lodge
Lock
because of
it
the
up.
seizure, and
Right.
your tongue literally can flip back and lodge into his airway.
Mm. And now it's blocked.
Bye bye Charlie. Now you got to go here, and now you're gonna have to sit there and puncture down here and try to do they do with the pen cap and shit.
You got the ball. You got the balls to
The
do that.
stoma. Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't even know where to go. The crazy thing is, I know it's somewhere down here, but I don't know where to go. So I'd be too scared. But man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Ooh.
If I was in the situation, maybe I'd try, but I'd be scared. It's like I don't want to be the reason they die, but I
Hey,
don't want to
you know
watch
like
them
this?
die.
Can't you just hook the tongue and run it
Maybe,
down?
but you don't want to put your hand nowhere near the mouth of someone that's having a seizure. I'll bite
Oh,
your
that bite
fucking
down.
finger off. Yeah, man, the bite force of a human is harder than you think. Just like, you have instincts to not bite certain hard when you feel you're biting something. But when you're having a seizure, their jaw locks up.
So yeah, they gonna
You
try to
go
get
try
it
to
back.
go in his fucking mouth, bye to those fingers. Fuck that,
Yeah.
no.
Just put the pinky
They're
in
like,
there.
and then all of a sudden they're like, and then like a
Ah,
lockjaw will just happen, and
you
then you're
might in reaction, you might punch the motherfucker too. That might be a bad situation.
then you now you lost your finger. They got concussion. They swallowed their tongue. Everything's bad
Should have
now. You're
swallowed it.
bleeding everywhere and shit. Blood.
All with good intentions,
And
though.
then the
All with good
crowd that
intentions.
was there watching you, hoping to see a heroic moment, suddenly runs like he killed them, and then they're bleeding and everyone's running for their life, saying some shit.
You became a villain.
Yeah,
Hero to
the
zero.
hero went to right straight to villain, like he did that on purpose.
You probably made him have that seizure too.
Yeah.
I blame you for everything on that
Look
shit.
at that pen in his pocket. That's not a real pen.
Oh yeah, this is after the throat stab too. Damn, I forgot about that.
Are you a doctor, sir? I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I saw this on fucking Good Doctor.
I went to Wawa.
I watch a lot of shows that are like doctor shows and shit. It's like I could do that shit.
What's the one? Oh man, that's my white part. That's ridiculous, man. But yeah, I think in a lot of situations, violence can be called for, man. Especially when you're doing stuff with the kids. Like if you find somebody, your son come home from school, be like, yeah, man, the nurse told me pull down my pants at school today, man, and show her.
Oh,
And she
oh.
slapped it with a ruler, some freaky shit like that. And and you
You
go
wanna
home.
you wanna know something? They don't have nurses at school no more, man.
They don't.
It's very rare. Public schools, their funding's so low. They just have like guidance counselors. My son's school. I'm glad you
Guidance
said that.
counselor for the nurse.
That's who you go to. The guidance fucking
I've
counselor.
been
They just do
shot.
basic. They just have basic first aid, this and that. They have no medical training. Yo, remember back in the day, we actually had a real nurse
Nurse
that would be
office.
there. Nah, yo. That's a big thing that's going on now, and
My
I've
nurse,
noticed
my
that.
nurse wasn't shit. My nurse would just give you like baby Tylenol, no matter what your situation
Yeah, yo,
was.
go to your school. Go to your school and say, "Can I see the actual? Can I see the nurse?" You're gonna go there, ask that nurse if she's actually a licensed practice nurse. See what she said.
Mm,
Because they used to have what's called nursing aides, right? There'll be nursing assistants or nurses' aides, and at least
mhm.
that they have all of the basic necessities and knowledge to treat all of
For
the minor
usual
things
stuff.
to
Right,
to send them to get them prepared to go to the hospital or get picked up by their parents.
right.
But now they just got some regular ass adult. It could be a teacher that's not
Not
on
the
the
guidance counselor
like.
though.
I just said that because at one point I remember one time my son said he went to the nurses just a guidance counselor. So it could be anybody, like a teacher that doesn't
Terrible,
have a
yeah.
class at the time. They'll just fulfill that spot and they'll just
Like the
rotate.
triage
Yeah,
doctor.
they'll just rotate people that are free to be the nurse. Yeah,
Wow, bro. And I know my kid's school got a
but
nurse because they called
yeah,
me the other
but
day.
that
But
I've
that's
noticed
crazy.
that there's a lot of schools, public schools that no longer are funded to add a nurse because I don't know why, man. I don't know why. That's got to
That's
change.
bad. Yeah, that's bad. How you don't have a nurse at the school?
A
It's not
real
even
like a
clear.
real nurse. They have a nurse's office in a nurse little place, but a real nurse.
Hold up, bro.
Like
You telling me the
you're gonna
schools
hire
don't have a nurse during the
does
pandemic?
well, I don't know if they have now because I'm just saying that I
They
know
need to
this
scrap the shit out
I
the
know this
nursing
for a
home.
fact because when I think it was like my son was in 10th grade and I got a call from the school and I had to pick him
Uh-huh.
up. So I went to pick him up and I was like, "Yo, why didn't the nurse just? Because he just had some minor shit, but they sent him home because they didn't have a nurse, so they didn't want to be liable. So that's why they just immediately they said, okay, he's got a temperature, send him home. I was like, yo,
Mm.
back in the day, like you're a little sick, they'll just have you take a nap for the rest of the class and then wake you up. If you still feel okay, they send you back to class. You know what I'm saying?
On that hard ass ottoman. Did they have a hard ass
Yeah,
ottoman?
yeah. But the
God
crazy thing
damn.
is, I remember the nurse would check my blood pressure, do all that. They don't do that shit. So my son told me, and I was like, the guidance counselor was the one in there. So I went to the school, and they're like, at some schools we just don't have any. They have a nurse that
That's bad.
rotates. Like they had like one nurse for
At this
like
school for this
and so
day.
she's only here sometimes. So that means that there's gonna be days where that school has no nurse on
You better
staff.
get sick on Tuesday, nigga. We ain't got no nurse for
Yeah,
you.
and then when I heard that, I was like, what? So that stuck with me, yo. And then you was talking about the
Damn.
nurse. I know we're talking about when is violence okay, but man, that's somebody look into that, see what's going on with that.
Man,
What
that's
why some
wild.
schools don't got nurses, yo? It's just crazy.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. So when you mess with the kids, you mess with somebody grandmother, something like that. The verdict is in that I would condone some violence in that situation. You can run up somebody, even if you just slap the shit out of them. That's permissible.
Yeah,
Somebody's
do what's necessary. I think there's a difference between violence and like excessive. It's
and
like
shooting people
yeah,
instantly.
you're doing what's necessary to thwart the danger or stop the person from doing it. But some people do crazy shit like what you say to my mama and then shoot him in the head or something. Like nah.
Right,
Like
right.
that might be a little excessive, but people do that.
Did you see the story about the? I think it was in New Jersey. It was like a 15-year-old girl or 14-year-old girl. She was looking for another girl, but she couldn't find her, so she went to her apartment. And when her mother answered the door, she was like on Facebook or Instagram Live and was like, "Is this your mother?" Like the mom answered the door. She was like, "Can I help you? Is this your mother?" And slapped the shit out the girl mother on like live video. I was like, "Yo, stop playing with me, bitch. I'm looking for you. Is this your mother?" Slapped her again. She slapped her like 3 times on live, right? So everybody saw it, and then like a month and a half later, she got killed.
The
And
girl that was slapping the mom.
right. I'm gonna see you the video later. It's wild,
Wow,
bro.
so she went to her house because she
And
couldn't find Shorty, and then
right,
yoked her mother and started slapping her on the live, and then that girl
right.
retaliated by getting her killed.
And now it wasn't proving who the
Retaliation.
girl was. Who the girl was. I mean, obviously it's retaliation. She grabbed her up like the police. Where you going? Hey, where you going? Say, grabbed her up like that and started slapping the shit out of her.
Oh my god, yo,
Like
that's
3 or 4
crazy.
times. Even the chick that was with her, the girl was like, "Yo, did you just slap this girl mother on Facebook Live?" Like the girl that was holding the camera, you can see her hand
Oh
come up to her
shit.
mouth. I'm gonna send
Oh
it to you.
my.
It's wild. But
Oh my god.
in that situation, do you think that girl deserved to die? Do you
I
think she
I
deserved to get shot?
I don't think so. I don't think so. She deserved to get her ass beat. You know what I mean? If they
Yeah,
got her, like maybe like her and her friends like jumped her and like stomp, did a good
beat the
old
shit out of
fashioned stomping, and then
her.
say, don't you ever, you know what I mean? Give her a good old stomping. Enough to go to the hospital. She gotta like be in the hospital for a day to tend to her wounds, but just straight flat out kill her. Like
Right.
I don't know, man. That's excessive. To take a life, that's something. Not to mention what it does to you.
Yeah, man. You never that's
When
some
you
spot
take
on
a
your
life,
soul,
that
bro.
it doesn't matter how you take it, it's gonna change you in some way, shape, or form. You're either gonna live in the regret and the depression of what you've done, or you're gonna be fueled by it and find yourself having the need to do it again. And you might kill somebody for less next time, and before you know it, it don't take much.
You
You're
a
shooting
hitman.
people. Yeah, man, you go down that wrong path. You know what I mean? That it changes you, yo. You need to take
Yeah.
somebody's life. I'm glad I've never had to. I've never had to be in a position to have to take somebody's life because I don't know how I would handle it. But man, all I can
You
say
was
is it
just
does change you.
you was just ready to kill the nigga having a seizure 2 minutes ago. And then you stabbed him in the throat with that pencil top,
Nah,
nigga.
I said if he's gonna die, at least let me try to save him. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Gonna slide in like a wrestling ref and stuff. That's fucked up, bro. You're a savage. But yeah, man.
I've seen many people survive with that.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
I
a
guess it's like
medical
I think it's right here,
medical thing. See,
right
you
there.
ready to stab. You ready to stab.
I
You
don't
know
know
when
for
you
sure. That's why I'm like, I'm saying I think it's right here. Hey man, if I had to guess,
Edwin, you
that's
gonna
what
shoot
I would
the
do.
gun.
It's right. I would
You
feel.
gonna
I
shoot the
think
gun.
there's like a little spot on your bone right here, and I think it's right above it. So it's right. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. If I know anything about you, you gonna stab that nigga in his neck at that time. Just to see. Just to see what happens.
Not to see what happens. Come on, man. If the dude can't breathe, him or her, or they, depending on how they identify,
Right.
then I'm gonna do what's necessary. If there's nobody else, I'm gonna probably try to make sure somebody around me. Hey, do you know what you're doing? If everybody's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on,
Everybody gonna
I'm
be
like,
like,
I at least know that there's a procedure, something like this, that could save his life. Give me your pen.
somebody gonna say, a pen?
Yeah, a pen. Like a big pen or something, so you
No, I
can get
know.
the straw or a straw.
You gonna use the straw.
And then it's like, hey, and then the hobo on the street, like, give me that liquor. I don't want it. Give me that liquor.
What?
Sterilize it with the
Bro,
liquor.
you at a party, yo. You ain't gotta steal homeless man liquor.
Oh, it's at a party. I didn't know. You didn't tell me the premise. So we're at a
Oh
party. I
man.
just grabbed.
If
Give me
I'm
that
buying that
Bacardi.
liquor in a party.
Give me that Bacardi 100.
Jesus. Oh, you went hard with the rum.
Stab it up.
Lord have mercy. All right. Well, that's. I think we dissected that one good.
Yeah, let's roll on to the next one.
we found out a lot about my man today, man.
Wow. Oh my
All right,
gosh.
man. But so with everything that's going on, man, and in the world and the things that we see, the situations that we see in the unfold everywhere in the world, from socially to culturally, violence, everything like that. What role do you think music has on influence society and the way the general culture moves? If you notice at times, in certain times in history, music was a true indicator of what was going on, whether it be the big hair bands, the big hair rock bands that influenced culture real heavy, the NWAs that influenced culture real heavy.
I'm seeing
What
the
you
comment.
what
The
oh,
comments is crazy.
we ain't pouring out any
But yeah, yeah,
raise
yeah.
it
So
raise the names for going out
let's
there.
keep on. Yeah. So
Yeah, but so what you think? What do you think? Music, like on a young culture, people who are just coming up in the game, when they hear Eminem rapping, or you hear a revolutionary rock song or jazz or something that can strike your heart, what do you think the influence of that is?
I mean, it'd be crazy to think that music has no influence at all. There's always some kind of influence, but there's a responsibility when you're consuming anything from watching a TV show, watching a movie, consuming, reading a book, like all forms of art where you're consuming something from a fictional sense or entertainment purposes. You know that to some degree, some people take it to heart. So I mean, I think that it's influential in those things because you can look at it from a metaphorical, from an artistic point of view, and relate to some aspects of it. But I can't sit here and say that nobody's influenced negatively because some music has violence in it. So I think it goes both ways because music is also influenced by society as well because people put out the music based on what's going on around them. So I think it's a full circle, like a full flowing river, that constantly gets fed from society and from the artist. But yeah, music is influential, but it's hard for me to say like, did somebody just murder 5 people because this dude did it on a song? It's hard to say that because I could tell you right now, shoot that man in the head, shoot him right now, and you have a choice to do it or not do it. Unless I'm actually influencing you by threatening your life, which then it would put the process on me.
Well, the influence.
But if
Hold
I'm
up,
just telling you to do it and you do it, am I responsible for his death or are you? That's the
See,
question.
I don't think I understand what you're saying on that one. I don't think the influence comes that direct though. Like they're not gonna
Okay.
be like, I'm in the store, shot that motherfucker, yeah. Like it's not gonna be that direct. It's subliminal messages of, like, it could be subliminal messages because a lot of artists are followed, like, on a cult level. You know what I mean? It's not like they just tune in one time. I went to the concerts, I watch his interviews, I buy his CDs, I buy the merch. They follow this. They follow this energy.
But
So once you have an energy like that,
yeah, that's true because the energy is like sometimes and it carries over. But what if the lyrics was like literally like this? Get that snitch. Fuck that snitch. Get the strap. Don't give a fuck. Blah blah blah.
that's direct.
That's pretty direct. That means that it's very broad, but he's saying specifically someone that snitched. And this is not related to our earlier topic, by the way. And that's an actual song, so I didn't make those lyrics up. I just want to
Okay.
point that out. So, but if you hear it, he says snitch, strap, don't give a fuck, and then blop blop blop, which he's basically saying you're getting the snitch and shooting him and killing him. So that means if somebody gets snitched on and kills them, can they
That's true. You
blame
kill
the
this motherfucker.
song? Say I did it because he did. That artist did it, and then the artist will say I just made a song. I ain't kill nobody.
I
You
mean,
did.
but that's the same argument as bullying. Then, like, I influenced you to kill yourself, and you killed yourself. And if I influenced you to rob that store or kill that snitch, and you killed that snitch, and the bully get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, the bully gets in trouble for what they did, which is the bullying. But you can't say you
Is
can't
the
put
artist's
legal
influence not
you
the
can't put
influence?
legal responsibility on it, but that does change because now it's what's called civil responsibility. There's two different things. You got legal and civil, right? Just like Deshaun Watson right now, right?
Hmm.
All these women came out and said that he did this stuff from a criminal standpoint. He was acquitted.
Agree.
There's
Right.
not enough thing, but he's still in court for the civil aspect of it because all they have to prove is that his actions hurt them in a way where they can't live the same way. So in that situation, the bully, because the bully's actions led directly to
That's
that
still legal
suicide,
though.
the family can sue that family for damages
That's still legal
and
though. That's still
reparations.
law.
It's civil law though, not legal law, not like criminal law. So it's like there's no jail time, there's no criminal record
But
because you
what
can't.
happens if you don't pay that fine? Or do they
It's
just
then
they
it
just
gets
garnish this shit?
then they garnish it. Then the next step is they take you back to court again. You're not paying. Then they start when you get every time you get money from paid, they garnish it. So either way, it's done. You're gonna. But I mean, it's crazy because you think about it from this. It's like it's personal justice. It's the justice you get as a family because you know what you did, and you know because of what you did, their depression would led them to committing suicide. So it's one of those things, though. You know what I mean?
But
Because
music can give you depression too. It's a lot of pill popping artists out here putting out that sad, somber shit that have you probably
yeah,
kill yourself, bro.
yeah. Well, I mean, you got to already be in that mindset, though.
I
You
don't
ain't
know,
gonna be
man.
a happy-go-lucky dude then hear a sad song.
No, but the first interaction with a bully not going to usually make you kill yourself.
Yeah.
So it's that addition.
Well, it
It's
depends on the context. What if a family member of yours has just passed away, the one you're most closest with, and the bully is bullying your pain, because there's different forms of bullying. You don't have
what
to
you mean?
like
What you
you
mean
don't. Ha-
bullying your
I
pain?
don't gotta push you. I don't gotta push you or hit you to be bullying you. I can bully you by poking your grief. Like keep
Right. That's
reminding
what I'm
you.
talking about.
Like I could. Like this is a form of bullying. Like oh your nanny died. Oh. Oh, are you sad because they died? Oh, is that all you got? Oh, she died. Oh no! And then
That's
that right
cold.
there is that's a form of bullying, yo. And if the person doesn't react in a way, then that could actually affect them mentally.
Right. But that's
So
probably
that's
not going to
another
get you
form
to
of
come out the
bullying.
game the first time. The first time
Hmm?
that happened, you're gonna go home, you cry. It's
It'll
after
stick. It'll
multiple
stick with
times.
you though. It'll stick with you. Sometimes
Yeah.
one time can stick with you, and it may not. It may not. It's like it boils over later. Like what if that bully doesn't say nothing to him no more, but every day they can still hear him saying that in their head. So that
Man,
means that every time
that's
I
heavy
feel
trauma. That's
remorse
heavy
for the
trauma.
death of that family member, I'm also going to hear that bully saying that shit. And then those two
Yeah.
together is going to drive me insane. And then I could kill myself 2 years later. And it's still because of that thing that he said. Sometimes it doesn't resonate right away. So it's one of those things. So does that mean that because it's 2 years later, you can go back to that bully and say, you're the responsible for this person's death?
So hold on. So in the same way, now that was a very specific example. So I'm gonna give you another
Okay.
specific example.
All
So
right.
let's say you've seen the music video "Stand" from Eminem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so his attachment with Eminem was very interpersonal because he's like, "Yo, I'm going through this. You went through this. You from the D. I'm from the D. We I bleach my hair. You bleach your hair, nigga. We got the same dick length. We friends, you know."
yeah.
But then Eminem didn't even shit on him, but just didn't make it around to his letter in time.
Yeah.
But homeboy went ahead, did his old girl,
Yeah, and
this,
he
that, other.
killed him exactly how Eminem did in the song.
So
And
is
just the
Eminem
two
to
of us.
blame for that?
Well, that's why Eminem wrote that song. Because remember, that was at the height after his first album came out. The government was trying to shut his music down, remember? Saying that his music's too influential and kids are doing things because of it. That's why in the second album, that song was the most influential song because Eminem's showing you, like, what I do with my music is art. Like, you know how sometimes you say, I could slap the shit out of that person, yo. You're saying it, but you're actually not meaning you want to do it. You're
Right,
just
right.
saying like this person makes so mad I could knock him upside the head. That's what music is for some artists. Like him and his and Kim go through so much problems, so he kills her in the song, but he doesn't want to kill her in real life. So that's his way of coping. Just like saying Like you're doing that. You
Eminem might have want to kill Kim in real life.
Hey, I don't know this or that, but the point of the matter is, Eminem made that song to let him know. It's like, hey man, I wrote these songs as a therapy for me to get over how I felt, but doesn't mean that I wouldn't wanted to do it. You know what I mean?
But hold on, listen,
You
listen.
listen to that song, Stan, and you see how Eminem broke
I
it down,
understand.
and
But
then
what
he
you saying
realized, oh shit, he's the kid.
is acting out my life. But
Yeah,
the bully could say the same thing. The bully could say the same defense that Eminem just had. I was never going to really put him in a locker. I didn't mean to talk about his dead grandma.
and that just goes to show
That's crazy, bro. So where
that
do we
that
draw the line?
intentions, and results are two
It don't
different
mean
things
shit,
sometimes.
right? Intentions don't
Yeah,
mean shit.
yeah.
That's crazy, bro. But so on that tip, I think music it's a little bit dicey.
Yeah, I think it's both. It's both. It's influential, but at the same time, it's at the discretion of the user, of the listener. You know what I mean? You got to
A user,
understand.
that's a good word. A
Yeah, the
user.
user. You got to understand that when you're listening to this music, you can't take it for word directly. Like that's what they mean. You know, there's an art form, and some of these artists claim that what they say is real shit. But whether it is or not, you're a consumer of this art, so you should look at it as nothing more than art. Like if I watch an Avengers movie, that doesn't mean that I think I'm gonna become Iron Man and fly around. But motherfuckers, remember that movie Avatar?
Once I get this Amazon
Do you
job, man,
know?
I'm
Do
gonna
you
be
do you
cooking for you.
remember Avatar the movie? There was people that were actually on
Think
suicide
fully.
watch, and they were depressed because they actually wanted to go to that world, that fictional world.
What
I'm
was it
dead ass
called?
serious. Avatar, the blue people,
Oh
the
no no
blue.
no 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 no! I'm trying to think of the planet name, man.
I can't
Ah
remember either, yo. But you
I know
remember
what
that
you're
though,
talking
right?
about. Yeah,
There was
blue
there was a
people.
there was an article and it was on the news that there was people that were actually
Pandora, Pandora.
Pandora. Yeah, they were trying to go to Pandora because they wanted to be part of the great tree, the soul tree.
Ewa.
Yeah, ew.
They wanted
See,
to be
you
great.
love Avatar, don't you? You
It
probably
was
want
me.
you
It
you
was
was
me.
dreaming about going there to Pandora, weren't you?
I fly
Yo,
with
but
dragon.
that also shows you how well the world building was in that movie. It was very immersive. The technology they used, the CGI they used was revolutionary at the time. So
Very
everybody
good.
was like completely transfixed. I use that word,
Yeah, you
but
used
that
it.
word applies there. They're transfixed by the world that was created. And some people kind of went a little insane about it, wanting to go to this world that they thought existed.
Mm,
What
that
about
is,
bank heist movies? Bank heist movies come out and bank
bro.
robbery attempts
Wrong
go up.
people, bro.
Do you
Wrong
remember
in the
that?
wrong
Every
people,
time
bro.
a bank heist movie comes out, people like weeks later are trying to rob banks again.
That's what I'm saying. It that all
It's
that stuff is
influential, yo, but I think that comes to the people, though. It doesn't mean that it's gonna make you a good person, kill somebody because you heard a
listen.
rapper talk about murdering people.
You got to understand the world we living in. I
Hmm.
think you're looking at it from a granular level. If you
Yeah,
look at it more broader, a lot
right,
of people don't have the same perspective you have.
right. You're
You're
right.
looking at from your perspective and a perspective of yo, I'm really trying to understand what's going around me. A
Yeah,
lot of people don't really give a damn of what's going. It's a reaction mindset.
right,
I'm gonna
right.
do this because I don't know how to handle this situation, and I'm wilding out, or I'm gonna take it this way, not necessarily wilding out. So that's what you got. I think that's what we got to understand. It is, and you coming from what you've been through, you
Right.
like, man, ain't no way I'm about to listen to Future told me to put a Percocet in my ass and do a keyboard.
But no,
No,
somebody will.
a lot of people will be like, "Yo, I ain't never put a perk in my ass before, yo." Future said it, it must be right. So they running in the bathroom at the
Oh
club
shit.
to put a perk in your ass before the party starts.
Well, that's why you have to beware of false idols. And hey, man, religion, whether you believe in God or not, when you read the Bible, it warns you of these things. You know what I mean? False gods, false idols,
Mhm.
and you idolize people, and that could influence you negatively because there's those people you idolize are imperfect, just like you. But
Just
you
like
put them on a pedestal and think that what they say is the Bible. It's the
right, right, right.
gospel. Like, yo, what just like you said, there's people out there that says, "Oh, Future said it. His word is gospel to me." And that's what Stan was. Stan was an example of Eminem
Idolization. Yep.
making an example song like, "Hey man, he's speaking back to the fans saying, "Damn, yo, I didn't think about it like this." So he made that song. That song wasn't just to the people, it was to himself. It was like him learning that his artistry is more influential than he could have ever imagined. So him making Stan is like telling all the stands out there. It's like he wasn't just talking to the dude on that song. He was talking to everybody out there that may or may take his words literally, saying, "Hey man, this is an art form, and I'm expressing myself artistically." You know what I mean? But
Don't think it's too
I'm a
late.
regular dude just like you. I
Right,
feel pain just like you. I hurt just like you. So that he lets people know that, hey man, you can look up to me, but don't idolize me because I got flaws, maybe more than you. And we all knew that because remember Eminem then took some time off so he can get off. He was addicted to pills and whatnot, whatever drugs he was addicted to, and he got himself clean. And then he came back with a vengeance and became a better artist, in my opinion.
yeah, all right. That was Baby Go. In your opinion, I
In
don't
my
know.
opinion.
I
Now, I mean,
don't
there are some albums that were questionable in the middle, but his last three were pretty solid.
questionable.
Yeah.
Drake.
Hey man, it's just I listen to music differently. I'm all about lyrics and what messages are. So everybody has their taste, but I've never. I guess you're
But
right
that's the
because
thing,
I'm
though.
not influenced in the same way as others, and others are influenced differently. So
It
it's
gotta
just
be. It gotta be more. It has to be a message. Yes, I agree with you there. But it gotta be more than just a message. You feel me? It
what do
can't
you
be a
mean?
dope ass message. It can't. If that was the case, then you could go put Malcolm X on any beat, nigga, and it'll flow. It don't
Well,
necessarily
yeah, you gotta
have
have
music.
all of the things gotta align. Yes, yes, yes. Well,
Yes, you can't
look
just
at
be having
Tupac. Tupac. He's very melodic, poetic in his delivery,
right.
and he had a lot of songs that were great messages. That still, his songs from back, some of those songs he had written back then still apply today.
But guess what he had? Guess what else we had? He had niggatry. You need niggatry. You can't just have straight consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. You need some niggatry too. Like just like you're dealing with soldiers. Soldiers go to war, they fight, they're gonna be in formation, but at the end of the night, they want some of them Taiwanese hookers and alcohol. They're online.
Don't
They
say
need
it.
some niggatry,
All right.
No,
You know what I'm talking.
and
I was waiting for you to say. Don't say
nah,
it.
I can't say that right now.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You need. That's why I think a lot of conscious rappers don't ever really catch sale because if they do be giving some real good ass information, it's,
Yeah.
it's dope. It's dope, relevant songs that make sense to the social climate, but they ain't got no niggatry, man.
Yeah,
You
but you know
need them
why?
to keep it a
They
culture.
have their audience though. They have their audience though,
Yeah,
Sean.
that's very true. That's true.
And
That's
I'm
very
one
true.
of those, like Talib Kweli, Common. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right,
Pharaoh
right, right.
Monch, Most
Mm-hmm,
Def. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I mean, I have those artists that I listen to, that I gravitate towards. But I also, just like you said, I also like Mob Deep.
But do you think Pharoah Monch
Uh,
can have a niggatry song? What, what,
he would.
most deaf?
It just be lyrical as fuck.
Man, nah, yeah, you got if you want to make it in music, you gotta have a full out
Yeah.
a nonsense joint. You gotta have
Yeah.
a pump, 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 pump,
Oh,
pump,
he
pump,
does. He does had a couple. The one he had with Busta Rhymes called what was it? The next millennium now. Everybody listen, condition yourself to not kind of condition. Watch out. This is me.
No,
Yeah, the next shit. The next
that's
shit. It
too
was with
conscious.
Busta Rhymes. The Busta Rhymes, yeah.
I ain't hear you say nothing about Percocets, nigga. That was too
Uh,
conscious. I
yeah,
ain't
but
say nothing.
the hook literally says the next shit, the next shit, the next shit, the next shit.
See,
And
but
I
what,
remember
what?
Busta Rhymes comes in like Busta Rhymes, the empirical lyrical. You heard, killed like the one syllable word. I can't believe I remember that.
Because it was bars. It made sense. It was easy
Yeah,
for you to be like, okay, I understand that, and I could commit that to memory. But this new shit is basic. It's just like for monthly consumption.
yeah.
And if you need some niggatry shit, yeah, you don't. I don't think you understand. Yeah.
I
To you,
understand.
you don't understand.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't.
You don't understand because when that shit come on, it's like you don't even listen to what he say. You just be like, woo.
So you like the
That's
production more than you like the lyrics?
it's some vibes you need, and just like you said, though, they got their audience because sometimes you need that vibe to be like if you in a gym or you riding at night, you trying to stay woke or some shit like that. That's the thing about the conscious rap. Sometimes you'll fall asleep. I like
Yeah.
Currency and them niggas. They put you to sleep.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah, yeah.
necessarily
Like
conscious.
what's the one dude out? Oh, you know what? Kevin Gates.
I don't like Kevin Gates.
I
Yo.
mean, like, wait, who does that song? Is that Kevin Gates? He's like,
I got
bitch, I'm
you.
a big
Oh,
gangster. Talk about cocaine. What is that? How's that go?
Is
Bitch,
that a
I'm a
country
big
song you
gangster.
turned into? Ed?
Damn. I feel like deja vu, like had this happened before. Where's
I've been here
Terrell at when I
before.
need him? That's literally his ringtone. And I don't know. That's
What's his
Kevin
name?
Gates. Did
Kevin
this
Gates.
happen before? Did we had this conversation before?
Yes, three
I'm being
weeks ago. Bro.
serious.
3 weeks ago, we talked about Kevin Gates being
And this
a
song,
one gangster.
yeah, we still didn't figure it out.
I
Okay,
don't know.
okay.
I'm lying.
Let's get. So this didn't happen. I'm being
No, it
serious.
didn't happen.
Okay, let's just move on because I'm getting freaked out right now because I swear we had this conversation before.
Do you want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game? Saul, would you? Does that
Imagine
influence
waking
you?
up hearing that. Oh my god.
Yo, could you imagine going to sleep at night and then that's when someone injects you? Because if you're sleeping, you're not conscious of what's going on. Then they knock you out,
Right.
and then you just wake up like, and then you're like,
Edwin, you've lived your whole life walking around downtown Baltimore not picking up trash. Today your life will change.
You'd be like, oh my god.
ah, I'll never litter again. Mama!
So,
Yo,
the
you
song's petty as shit.
you find out,
Song over littering, that's petty as shit.
Mama!
Oh my god. What'd you say, yo? If I find what?
Wait, if ever found what?
You said if I ever find something.
I don't know, man. You you
Oh, all
you,
right,
you
fuck
killed it with whatever you said. Move on.
No, that would
You
be
killed
something.
me with that sauce. Yo,
They
I'm
have
so
a they have an escape room that's themed as Saw in Las Vegas. I heard it's pretty good, but I couldn't imagine waking
in
up
Las Vegas.
in Las
How,
Vegas. They
would
got-
you do one of those escape rooms?
Yeah, oh, of course.
I think that would be interesting. I've always thought about it, but haven't like gotten around
Oh, you
to.
haven't done
But
any escape room?
no, but we actually were
very fun.
researching it. There's actually 2 out here in the, around my area, so I
Nice.
think I might have to try that out. But then I saw that movie Escape Room, and I'm like, yo, what if my luck is yo check Plex, yo, I got part 1 and 2 on there. Keep that on the low.
I got you. You don't
Yo,
want to set it on TV, nigga. I got this cocaine. Keep it on the level.
Keep it on the low. But yeah, but if you watch that movie, I'm like, I'd be my luck that I'd be the stupid one to fucking pick the one that's a real escape room and I really die in that bitch.
Oh yeah, that would be heavy.
So that's kind of what makes me hesitant about doing it. But I really would love to do it.
Yeah, the way your mind think, I think you'll really enjoy it, bro. It's
Yeah.
Some of them are harder than
Wouldn't it
others.
be crazy if I think I'm so smart and it just gets stuck in like level 1 escape room? That's another reason why I don't go. It's like, what if I fucking suck and I find out more of how terrible I am really in real life?
Some of the things in there are very obvious, and you going into it with an escape room mentality. You looking 3 layers deep off top.
Yeah, because I do notice that they have like expertise levels. Like this is for a high level. This is good if you've never been to an escape room. This would be the start point. And then you got escape rooms like these are for the high end motherfuckers that do escape rooms for a living and shit.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, it's like, but people do escape rooms for team building, right? Like jobs will take their employees for them to get out of the escape room together, so they can build their team together. And say, hey, we could do this together. Would you go to escape room by yourself though? Like it's just me in escape room.
Yeah, because some of them are horror based. A lot of people do that by themselves. Like only that. I mean, it's a few of them I seen that's like outer space themed ones and Get Out of Africa and all these other things like you gotta get through.
Get out of Africa. There's a lot to unpack with that one, man.
No,
Come on.
It was no racial implications. You was like stuck in the Congo.
Okay, then why'd you have to say get out of Africa? You should have said get out of the jungle. Why'd you say
That's what
Africa?
they called it. Get Out of Africa.
Exactly. So what are they implying?
I don't know. I throw my hands on that. A horror one I wouldn't do by myself. Like
Yeah. You said that there's a Saw one the one in Las Vegas is like themed like Saw. So are you like tied up like that shit too?
From the video, what I saw is they put you in like a crematory chamber. So don't you know? It's like soon as you come into the joint, you go into a crematory chamber,
And you're gonna be inside the motherfucker.
and the tube,
So if you
inside the tube,
wow, so if you got claustrophobia, you're fucked.
yes, but they do got two. I saw they do got 2 cage ones, like that's clear cages, but it's still pretty small.
Yeah, you know who has claustrophobia? Storm from the X-Men.
What?
Storm from the X-Men. She has claustrophobia.
She always outside though. That's why her gift
When
is outside.
she was a kid, her mother and father both were killed from a building class where it was like a civil war or some shit, and she was stuck
Venezuela.
underneath the rebel for like hours and hours, lying next to her dead mother's body.
Mm,
So that's why she developed claustrophobia from being stuck in there for a long time before she was rescued.
damn, Storm. Dirty ass.
Yeah.
That's
No
terrible,
one ever
bro.
explained that, but I remember I think they did that in one of the movies where she got all like weird when she was in confined space. They're like, why is she like that? That's why she has claustrophobia. So anybody
Mm.
that you're welcome.
Storm was sexy.
Hmm?
There's a
You
lot
talking
of
the Halle
attractive
Berry
actors.
Storm or the
That
animated?
one too, but I'm talking about the animated one. The
Yeah, yeah,
animated one.
Storm. She's like, oh, weathers conceal the, and then she'd get the fog.
That sound like Ben Hur. Damn, bro. What you gonna do, Juilliard? You got a good bravado right there,
Oh,
bro.
I do. I did the jingles.
Oh, them Christmas songs
I'm
too. You
just your
can rap.
average Renaissance man. I could do CPR. I can sing jingles. I can
Stab
act.
niggas in the throat.
I can act. You know what I mean? All in a tiny little package.
Oh my goodness, bro. Man. But all right, hey yo, we creeping up on the 120. 120.
Yo, how do we always do that?
On the we'll go over an hour.
Yeah, we go over an hour every time.
We start talking about other shit, y'all.
We
If
really
we
did though. We was talking about those fucking 5 foot longs way too long, bro.
we'll
So I motion that we leave all food topics out from this point on because that
nah,
lasted
yo,
way.
what's that type of video mukbang? You know what mukbang is?
No,
I might be mispronouncing it, but it's the videos in like Tokyo.
most likely.
Yeah. But the videos in
Sam
Tokyo and
Koch.
shit, and even Sam Cook, he and Koch.
Well, I keep
But
pointing at you. My bad. I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
Rude
look
as
at
fuck.
this dumbass man. Look,
It's like,
listen. The videos in Japan where the women just suck squids and the men will just eat food very fast. It's like a food fetish video. People just watch people eat. So you know it's gonna be some people that be like, "Hey, Edwin."
You said suck squids. Hey, Edwin.
I mean, not just suck squids. They eating the squid. But
Squid Game.
have you seen those videos where the snail it look like a dick and they slap it?
Oh yeah.
And then they eat it. And then
That's not a snail though. It's a clam, yo. It's a clam. I know what you're talking about.
It looked like plankton, nigga. And she slap it and it get hard. Like,
Oh boy. Oh
and
boy.
the bitch just bites the head off of it, and it's just like the clam just like seize up. You know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
boy.
But I say all that to say, food is big business, bro.
Food
Talk
is
about
big
food.
business.
How
Yeah.
much you like food? I love food.
I
Bro.
love
Everybody
food.
love food. Keep
I
it
love
real.
food. I love trying new stuff, but I'm not gonna try that clam that looks like.
That erect clam.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Did you see those little YouTube or like those TikTok videos where this dude he be like, "Give me a pound of that." He's like, "Let me get a pound."
Sir.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, that's funny shit. That's
He had about those clams too. He was like,
oh, he did one about them clams?
yeah, he's like, he did it as like a grandma. He was like an old woman.
Oh.
She's like, let me get a half dozen of them clams.
But ma'am, how are you gonna cook them?
Let me get a half dozen of them clams.
She don't have no patience. Me and my son watch them all the time. So they're hilarious.
She's cracking me up, yo.
Oh,
She was serious too. She was mad. I said, give me a half dozen of them clams. Yo, sweat heavy, yo. Like, oh, let me get a half dozen of them clams.
That should be hilarious.
Oh man, when I first saw that, I was dying laughing off of that shit. I'm like, this is the stupid shit. Yeah.
My goodness, bro.
But yeah, that's
man.
foodies.
Foodies, man.
Foodies.
As we go deeper in this, we're gonna do a food only episode. We're gonna
Just talk about food spots and shit.
My a food truck festival or something.
Mine will be short because I'm not gonna lie. The food down here is not comparable to Maryland's.
And this food ain't shit. So damn, you must be in
You
Ethiopia.
That's because you live there, man. All I gotta tell you is move away for 2 years, and when you go back to Maryland, you'll be so happy to be eating again.
Word?
Yeah, yo.
He was down when he was down there. I did see. I seen they had a lot of barbecue. Because remember,
Oh well, you know what? Some barbecue spots. You go to the right ones. There's good. There's good. It's just I'm just comparing the seafood.
Ah, okay.
I'm just gonna let you know right now. If you get seafood anywhere else outside of Maryland, it's gonna hit different.
He said that from his heart. Look at his face, man.
It's gonna hit different. Yo. I went to a restaurant. I'm not gonna say the name because I ain't here to down trot nothing. But I went to a restaurant. That shit said best seafood in North Carolina. I was like, well, that's where I gotta go. I went in there and ordered a crab cake. Meal. And the first red flag was this crab cake meal was only $8.99 for 2 crab cakes.
That is a big red flag, bro.
And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, they said it's the best. So let's see, crab cake goes down. Looks like a crab cake.
You gullible as shit.
Smells like a crab cake. Took a bite of the crab cake, and it was not a crab cake. It was a crab cake made of imitation crab meat. Yes, it was. The red and white shit, which anybody knows that imitation crab meat is actually fucking codfish and flounder.
Oh, imitation crab meat.
So it's basically... No, it didn't. I told him that's how I got my refund. I was like, you need to fucking say these aren't crab cakes, it's imitation crab cakes.
Look at his face. He meant that.
These are imitation crab cakes. You need to put that on there. I need a refund, and I'm never coming here again. Dude, you ain't gotta worry about that. I only took 1 bite of this crab cake, and I ate the baked potato because I was fucking hungry.
You honestly thought you was getting 2 crab cakes for $9, yo?
I had to see, man, because I was like, I thought that I was getting ripped off in Maryland. I was like, if crab cake's supposed to be $8.99, I'm paying like $30, $40, and now I hear they're like $60 fucking dollars for a crab cake meal right now, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but when I left Maryland, the crab cake meals were in the $40 range. It'd be between $40 and $50 for a crab cake meal, right? Now I'm hearing it's in the $60, $70 range.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My aunt's birthday was recently. Shout out my aunt Joyce, and I got her a crab
Happy
cake
belated
from Papa's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Papa's in Glen Burnie, and I think it was like for a double crab cake platter, it was like $50.
Okay, so it's still. So I guess it depends on where you go.
Still high, but
yeah, but that's where it's at. See, it was between $40 and $50. That's right in that range. Yo, $8.99, bro. $9. Yo, when you're doing that, it's worth taking the risk. It's $9. So I was like, let me see. Maybe they just make the crab cake shitty. But if it would have just been crab meat, like real crab meat, maybe I would have. But it was
imitation crab meat.
I don't know. I didn't go far enough into the crab. I took 1 bite and tasted the imitation right off the bat, yo.
This ain't right.
I tasted imitation. I was like, yo, because you know why I know about the imitation? Why do we all know? Because you get the crab sticks at the Chinese food spot. And that's the only time I like imitation crab. Right. Them crab sticks be fried up with the bread on it, like. I be smashing those crab sticks. Now I know they're not real crab sticks. I know it's cod and flounder crab sticks, but they're still delicious. They do it right. It serves its purpose, and you know what you're paying for.
Right.
They don't fucking lie about it. That says it right in the thing. Imitation crab meat. I'm like, I'm with that.
I can respect y'all.
Yeah, but they didn't say that in this restaurant. It said crab cakes. Nowhere in it did it say imitation.
Until it hit your taste buds. Then it told you.
I didn't even ask him if it was imitation. I said, just so I know this is imitation crab meat. I taste it right away. I eat crab sticks all the time.
What they said?
Huh?
Sorry.
They apologized. The server, she was very embarrassed because I'm like, yo, I'm from Maryland, blah blah. Like, and as soon as she heard me say I'm from Maryland, she was like, oh shit, like I'm not the first Marylander that's went in there and complained. They gave me my refund so fast, and I was like, I ain't never coming back in here again. They're like, I know, I believe you.
You ain't gonna tell me, buddy.
I never ate there again. Louisiana though, Louisiana seafood is good. They're fried seafood. They got fried catfish down there. It's good. But
you lived in Louisiana for a little while, right?
Yeah, for a year and a half. Their food is great.
Where was you at, yo? You was
I stayed in Baton Rouge for a little bit, then Lafayette, Louisiana.
Lafayette, Raging Cajun.
Yeah, the Raging Cajuns.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
They
stay
be
in
getting
Lafayette.
popping on that football team, dog.
Yeah.
But we'll keep those secrets. But all right, yo,
Hey,
we
I'm gonna plug Brodus Burgers. If you're ever in Louisiana and you make your way to Lafayette, make sure you go to Kalisa Saloon Boulevard, or just type in Brodus Burgers on your GPS. I promise you, you won't regret it. The owner of that place, he when he first started out, he went to culinary school. He did all that guy's degree and bought out like a old like Sonic, like the Sonic food spots where you can drive up, and he turned it into like a little drive up restaurant for burgers. Best burger. When people say best burger, man, yo, this is the best burger you'll ever fucking have.
what is it
Believe
called?
me.
What is it called?
Brodus Burgers. Brodus Burgers.
Damn.
Brodus Burgers. I would drive an hour to eat that fucking burger. That's how good it is,
Like
yo.
flame grilled.
Yo, it's No, it's not. It's he cooks them different way. They're grilled or whatnot. I don't know exactly how it cooked. I think it's flame broiled maybe, but he cooks them like they're cooked like regular burgers are cooked. The difference is how he seasons them. I'm trying to tell you. You're going to eat this burger and you're not going to taste a burger like it ever in your life.
Brodus Burger.
Brodus Burgers, yo. It's in Lafayette.
Like
this is how you know. Yeah, because it's all, I know it's off. And he actually opened up. He's doing so well that he actually moved because it happened to be right where I was staying at in Lafayette. So I just stopped there for lunch one time, like, Brodus Burgers, fuck it. I'm just going to try a burger. You know what I mean? And they make your burgers any kind of way. Different burgers they have menus adjusted to Lent. They fucking have fish. They have everything. They even got a veggie burger. And he even has a burger that's made from a freaking portobello mushroom and shit. They had different types of shit. This dude's a chef for real. Right? So he has more stuff than burgers now. But when I first was there living there, he was starting out. Then I moved away, and a year later he ended up getting a sit down restaurant location off Khalees Saloon Boulevard. It's crazy how I still remember the name of that street. But if you go Khalees Saloon Boulevard in Lafayette, Louisiana, stop in a Brodus Burger, tell him that Edwin sent you. I'm 100% sure he'll remember me because we used to talk like on a daily basis. When I used to eat lunch there almost every fucking day when I lived there.
Brodus Burger.
And he's the chef. The owner is the chef. You're getting food straight from him. He's the one cooking this shit. He's the only one cooking this shit, and no one cooks it like he does. And he used to come out and talk to the customers and ask them like how they like their meal and stuff like that. But man, the dude blew up. I'm talking about within a year's time. He went from a small little rundown Sonic, closed down Sonic restaurant thing, and he went to a real sit down restaurant. The dude is. That food is
That's
official.
how you know the product is good.
Yeah, the product is good. And I told him, like, bro, you have to franchise and get one up north, yo.
See, but maybe he don't want to. That's what I was about to say.
And here's why he doesn't do it. Because it's the quality.
Yeah,
The reason why it's the way, the consistency is because he's the one behind it. And I don't think anybody can replicate what he does. He really, and I think he doesn't want nobody knowing his stuff because I've never tasted a burger like that, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I've never felt more passionate about any food spot in my life than Brodus Burger.
You gotta report it to the.
Well, yeah. It's just a season. His seasoning technique, yo. It's just.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying. As you scale up,
if you love burgers and before you die, take a trip to New Orleans, have fun at Mardi Gras, and schedule one day to drive an hour and 45 minutes because it's an hour and 45-minute drive to go to fucking Lafayette. It's 2 highways. You just go down a long highway, an alligator moat road that you go down. Don't fucking make sure you gas up because there's no gas stations. And then cross the Mississippi River, and then go down a long highway that's going across a bridge of marshes, and then you get to Lafayette, Louisiana, and it's a very small town. Yeah, Lafayette, Louisiana is a very small town. So as soon as you get there, Khalees Saloon is a major road in Lafayette. So you'll run right into Brodus Burger. Put it in your fucking GPS, and eat yourself the best burger you've ever had in your life. I promise you.
Stamped it.
Anyways, I went way too long on that, but fuck it. I had to do it because we talk about Louisiana.
You know why I let you do it?
Yeah.
You know why I let you do it?
Because you proved the point. How food. Okay, you got me. You got me because I lived there from 2013 to 2015. and I moved here to North
All right, look,
Carolina.
you about to do it again. You about to do it again. Stop. We know you love Brothers.
I love Brothers Burgers, yo.
Your face got so. Let me tell you something about Brothers.
I promise you, my son wants to go to Louisiana. He wants to experience Louisiana. So just know that part of that experience, we're gonna drive our asses to Lafayette.
If you willing
And
to drive almost 2 hours, that means it's good.
yo, it's that good, Joe. And I want to see what his restaurant looks like because I'm invested because I seen where he was and I've never been in his new location and I've seen pictures. I follow him on Instagram and he does his own advertising and marketing himself on his Instagram page. And I'm like, yo, I gotta sit down and eat there because he expanded his menu. His menu was just exclusively burgers when he was at the Sonic. But he told me that his plan was to have a restaurant. When he does that, he's gonna expand his menu. Like, and I just know that that menu is lit because if you make burgers that good, and then you go to more complex platters, I bet you those complex platters are fucking banging.
But see, maybe he'd like that, yo, because he probably if the food is that good, he probably got a decent draw. He making money.
Yeah, man, I don't need to plug him to help him. When I tell you this food is that good, everybody that's been there.
No. What I'm saying is maybe he don't need to scale up or franchise.
Nah, he doesn't. I think he's making it. He might maybe make another restaurant in Louisiana.
Right.
But you know why that also makes it better is because motherfuckers will travel for that shit. I promise you, if people travel there for business or whatnot and happen to just eat in that restaurant, they're gonna start telling people just like me. You see how excited I am? Maybe I like food, but a motherfucker that don't like food, it's gonna be that excited because that food is that good.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna check it out. Well, check out Brothers Burgers. You want to plug anything else before we leave? Nigga?
No, that's it. I'm done. I overdid it.
If I find out that you getting a publishing check from Brothers Burgers, that's valid violence, man.
That is valid violence.
I find out you doing promo time.
I was like, Sean, I promise I didn't know.
Oh my goodness, yo. I'm not fucking with you. All right, yo. I ain't got you. If you in Baltimore tonight, come out to Max's Tap House and Mustang Alley. It's two different locations in pretty much the same area for some comedy. I'm gonna do two different sets tonight around 8 and 9. I don't know which one I'm gonna be at first, but pop into both of them. You'll probably catch me. And Edwin, I'm gonna record it, man, for the Plex, like we was talking about earlier, man.
Yo, why'd you mention that shit again, yo?
Oh.
Yeah. Record it though for the Plex though.
No, I said I don't want to be Jeff Goldblum with T-Rex. That's what I said.
Okay, yeah. Jeff Goldblum with a T-Rex.
There we go. But I don't know.
Yeah.
What, you got anything to plug,
did you see how he hopped off that T-Rex's nose like it was a diving board when he hit it? When
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park when he hopped off the T-Rex's nose, like, isn't that what you were referencing?
Yes.
It looked like he looked like a frog hopping off of a lily pad. Remember, because he was like,
yeah, when he was running away from him.
Yeah, he was like,
before he ate the nigga in the bathroom.
Yeah. And he hopped.
Yeah. But all right, man. I will catch you in a few minutes. We will catch the rest of you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Too Late We Said It podcast. For myself and my co-host Edwin Nevada, thank you for watching. Be safe and have a good week. Peace.